My name is Kadri Kelmaha, and this is my persuasive speech on deceased organ donation, and this is my audience. If you could save as many as 50 lives, would you? Did I mention that it would not take 10 minutes of your time, or even a penny of your money? I'm sure glad at least one family was willing to donate their 7-year-old daughter's heart that died in a car accident to my best friend who was only expected to live 3 more months. 10 years after the operation, Caitlin is somewhere she and her family never thought she'd be. College. People who understand the current organ shortage problem, the causes, and the solutions are much more willing to give others a second chance after they're gone. Sadly, due to the organ donor shortage, not all stories end as happily as Caitlin's. Accessed on April 5th, the homepage created by the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network, which is one of the United States Health and Human Service Department organizations, shows the daily number of candidates on the potentially life-saving waiting list. The ages vary from newborn infants to seniors in their 60s, and today, 106,774 people are on that overloaded list. LifeSource Organ and Tissue Donation is a non-profit organization made up of primarily doctors from South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota, and has a page on their website called Learn the Facts, accessed on April 5th also. They say that 2,600 people live right here in the upper Midwest. Be an Organ and Tissue Donor is a webpage on the official United States government's website for organ and tissue donation and transplantation, found on April 7th, called organdonor.gov. Their research shows that someone dies nearly every 75 minutes while anxiously awaiting a second chance at life. We know that in 2008, less than 28% on that list were given a splendid gift, as found by one of 2009's best acclaimed hospitals acclaimed by the United States News and World Report. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center's article, Success Rates for Organ Transplantation are increasing, but organ donations are decreasing, viewed on April 7th, on the online edition of the Science Daily, goes on to state that the number of deceased donors has continued to drop markedly in the past 2 years, with over a 500% drop last year alone. Now, let's view some of the causes that are responsible for the donor shortage. While 90% agree with organ donation, less than 38% have actually become donors themselves, as found by the National Foundation for Transplant, or NAF's fact sheet. NIFT is a United States organization that has been raising public awareness of the donor shortage since 1992. By only thinking about donating and never acting on those thoughts, close to 50 hopeful people could die. Also, if you never make your wishes known to your family, lives could be lost. Saying you wish to donate your organs is an essential step, but an immediate family member must sign off on the procedure in many states. This is very hard for most families that have just begun the grieving process, and is the #1 reason for the shortage, next to longer life expectancies. The families don't want to think about and can't deal with anything but their loved one's death. Inaccuracies are yet another cause for the shortage. One of the 58 nonprofit, federally funded agencies called One Life, One Legacy, has a section called Myths and Questions on their webpage, accessed on April 7th, which shares some of the most common fallacies. 2 of the top concerns are that a person's religion would not allow it, and that an open casket funeral would be out of the question. But, in reality, all major and most of the lesser-known religions view donation as a splendid and selfless final gift. And open casket funerals are not an issue due to the minute incisions, making it nearly impossible to tell that the body has been touched. Other myths include age and health, and no one is too old or too sick to become a donor. And tests ran at the time of death determine which organs can and cannot be donated. The United Network for Organ Sharing is the founder of a database for managing all transplant data and matching all organs. On their webpage, Common Myths of Organ Donation, viewed on April 9th, they say money is not a factor either. You and your family will not be expected to pay anything for the procedure, and the recipient's money and social status are not a factor either. The severity and life expectancies with and without the transplant are only considered. Also, the names of both the donor and the recipients are kept confidential. A final myth to be put to rest is that if doctors know you are an organ donor, they will try just as hard to save your life if you weren't one. The medical team has nothing to do with the donating process, and the hospital receives nothing for your donation. Now that we understand some reasons why a shortage exists, we can create solutions on 3 levels. First, take action on a personal level. Register with your state. Organ donation laws are slightly different in each state. By accessing a website shared by over 45 national transplant organizations on April 7th called donatelife.net and going to the Commit to Donation section, I was able to find out how to become a donor in North Dakota as well as every other state. All North Dakotans have to do is go online to the Department of Transportation and check a box saying they wish to be an organ donor, or they can go directly to the Department of Transportation and renew their license showing that they wish to be a donor. Second, take action on a group level. Although North Dakotans don't require that a family member grant donation at the time of death to donors over the age of 18, many states do. By sitting down and talking with your family, you will make your wishes known, increasing the chances of them being carried out. Finally, take action on a community level by encouraging others to become donors themselves. You may be able to convince others to become donors by simply saying that you yourself have become one. After identifying the increasing problem of deceased organ donors, realizing some of the causes, and busting some common myths, we can feel comfortable becoming part of the solution. By stating your wishes both verbally with your family and in writing on your license, you can rest assured that you will have saved at least 8, if not 50 lives. But by talking with relatives and friends, you could end up saving countless more by bringing the problem to so many others' attentions. Who knew one voice really could make all the difference in so many lives?